How's it going, everybody? It's Mike from PC Classic Cars, back with another test drive video. Today we are going to drive our 1972 Chevrolet Chevelle with a 350 and an automatic transmission behind it. Alright, so again we have a 72 Chevelle, or technically this would be a Malibu, being that it's technically not a Chevelle, but it has a non-original 350 backed by a turbo 350 3-speed automatic transmission, and behind the turbo 350 it actually has a gear bender's overdrive. So what that means, if you're not familiar with that, is it's an auxiliary unit that bolts to the back of the transmission, and it gives you that overdrive gear. On this particular Chevelle, behind the 3-gauge pod here, there is a switch that says auto or manual. And what that does is, if it's in the manual mode and you want to go to that overdrive gear, there's a little button on the floor here that looks like another dimmer switch that you press, and it will give you that overdrive gear. Or you can leave it in the auto, and when you get up to a certain speed, it will switch to that overdrive gear so you can drive it out on the highway at 70 miles an hour. This car is fantastic out on the open road. It runs and drives excellent. It's very well sorted mechanically. We'll dive into some of the suspension stuff a little bit later in this video, but it's an excellent driving car, and I would cruise this thing anywhere. Other options, you do have power steering, power front brakes, manifolds, dual exhaust, and aftermarket style muffler. Sounds good going down the road. Factory AC blows nice and cold. The heat also works well. Kick this over here to the manual mode. Push that button. And then there's your overdrive gear. And then if you want to pop out of it, press it again, it downshifts. We'll go back to the overdrive there. Actually, we'll just put it back to manual, or to auto, excuse me. On your interior, you have a stock style black interior. You do have an SS steering wheel. It's obviously not an SS. Gauges are really easy to read. You have a really cool Sun Pro digital tack. That seems to be functioning properly. The seat covers, front and rear, the door panels, the dash, headliner and visors, everything is very nice. There's really no issues with the interior. If I have to nitpick anything, the rear sail panels have a few little wrinkles in them, but that's just minor stuff. Turn signal switch is nice and tight. Couple small items not working is your horn doesn't do anything, and then your sprayer fluids for the washer fluid, they aren't doing anything, but the wipers do work. The rest of your exterior the rest of your exterior lights, and then all of your gauges, you have the 3 gauges under the dash. All of that stuff is functioning properly. Again, just a short list, the 2 items, the horn and then the sprayers for the washer sprayer fluid aren't doing anything. But overall, the interior is very clean. It's a very comfortable ride. Get on it here. Not a crazy high horsepower 350, but it does run really well. Unfortunately, I don't know exactly how many miles are on the motor or exactly how many miles are on the car. It's showing 75,444. It could be a 75,000 mile car with how original it is underneath, but I just don't have any paperwork for that. Underside, super solid. Found no rust issues. Frame is excellent. Floors are original and very nice. Inside the trunk shows great. Just a really solid dry car on the bottom. No, I don't see any signs of any patch panels or anything that's ever been replaced on the bottom. It looks really good down there. On your exterior, your paint was a color change. It was originally a Placer Gold car. Now it is green. Via some of the photos that we have, I don't think they have a date on there from when the car was painted, but we do have some photos of the guy doing the work to it, and it probably was done in the 90s, maybe the early 2000s. I don't know exactly when it was reshot, Paint quality's nice, shows well, some smaller little touch-ups and little flaws. Take a look at my virtual description video along with the additional infos tab on my website. I'll dive into some of the cosmetic issues, have some really good photos of all that stuff. We have that posted on the website at pcclassiccars.com. So you can check that out. There's a lot of good pertinent information in both of those other items, the video, the virtual description, as well as the additional infos tab. We'll take it down our bumpy road here. Brakes nice and easy, doesn't shimmy, doesn't shake. Steers really well. As far as your glass goes, windows roll up and down like they should. Very minor little streaking on both of the side glasses. Nothing to really even take photos of, just very, very minor wear and probably the original glass. Windshield is nice, a couple tiny little nicks, just very minimal stuff in the windshield. Back glass is probably original, and that one does have some streaks in it. Overall, glass is clean and easy to see out of, and nothing needs to be replaced. Suspension is all stock style equipment. Nothing, again, crazy high performance, all just stock equipment. Shocks look good, springs look good, has a good road feel to it, doesn't squeak, doesn't make any weird sounds, and it is a very, very comfortable and a tight driving car going down pretty much any road. If y'all aren't familiar with our test drive videos, this is a very bumpy road, and as you can see, this car handles it phenomenally. Seat feel, the springs or the seat cushion here, it's a very comfortable bench seat. You can load up a bunch of people in here. It's got plenty of room. If you've never been in a Chevelle, they're bigger cars, so excuse me. Just a very comfortable cruising car. I'm 6 foot tall, 195 to 200 pounds, and fit in here very, very comfortable. Easy car to drive. We do have a copy of the original build sheet. I don't have the build sheet, don't know where it's at or where it got lost in translation, but I have a really good copy of the build sheet. And then I have a photo album of some photos when they were redoing the car. Shows them kind of painting it, shows them putting the motor in, stuff like that. Exhaust is not too terribly loud. And one thing I forgot to touch on, this does have an aftermarket stereo setup in it. You got 2 speakers in the back, then you do have some speakers in the kick panels there, and you have like a old school aftermarket stereo. I would upgrade that to a retro style radio, but it does work, so you don't have to. They didn't cut the dash, at least it doesn't look like they cut the dash for the stereo. You can put a Bluetooth one in there if you want to, just kind of personal preference on that. And my overall feel is this is a great Chevelle or Malibu, whatever you want to call it. It goes down the road great. It is rock solid underneath. The mechanicals are spot on. You already have the AC. If I was going to do anything, I would add the SS stripes, the SS emblems, maybe do a torque thrust D wheel on it. But like the car sits, you don't have to do anything to it. It's a great driving car. I'd feel very comfortable driving this thing anywhere you want to go, especially with that gear vendor's overdrive. And if anybody has any questions on that or how to operate it, feel free to give me a phone call and I can dive into that a little bit further. But this, again, fantastic example of a hop-in, ready-to-go classic car you can enjoy like it sits. And as always, I appreciate y'all stopping in to watch another one of the test drives. If there's ever anything else you want to see, don't hesitate to reach out to us. Make sure you check out the virtual description video along with the additional infos tab on my website, pcclassiccars.com. And we will see you guys on the next test drive video. Thanks again and have a great rest of y'all's day.